So I have a bad habit of buying mice that I find cheap on eBay, so here's a Razer Basilisk. The shape is definitely not one for me. It's an ergo mouse, but it's not really flexible in how you grip it, ergo mouse. So let's talk about the top first. The hump is centralized and the button slope it tapers down a little bit. So it's much like the G502, but it is larger, more filling feeling. Comfort groove in left mouse is fantastic. Whether you full finger it or you just tip it, it just feels very natural. Right mouse, there's no comfort groove. I wish there was one. Going to the right side of the mouse, we have a really nice rubber texture that's surprisingly grippy. I don't know if these grooves really do anything, but they don't hurt either. I do wish the rubber extended all the way the length of the mouse, because if you do a full fingertip or full palm with your ring finger going all the way forward, you're just on plastic. That said, there is a little bit of a ledge for you to lift up on. This really isn't much of an issue. What can potentially be an issue is if you do that full grip, you can potentially feel right mouse clicking back and forth. This side is pretty decent though. It is relatively flat, especially if you hit the sweet spot sort of in the just beyond the seam right here in the mouse button. It's pretty flat there. If you give any sort of angle to your ring finger, you're going to be pretty happy because you'll be right on the rubber and it's a really comfortable area. The left side of the mouse isn't exactly the same story. Surprisingly, my main issue is the thickness of the wing here. It forces your thumb up off the mouse pad more, and again with the sloping here, it forces your thumb up higher than what I would really like on a mouse. And that leads to a little bit of an imbalance between your two side gripping fingers. Still, the buttons are easy to press and easily reachable. The back one might be a little bit harder depending on how you grip. The clutch button's a big benefit because it's removable. It's pretty quiet too, great tactility. I don't have the other length clutch buttons because I am a cheap bastard and got this from eBay without packaging. So, but if you remove it, it definitely opens up more grip opportunities. Then looking at the bottom of the mouse, we can see the sensor is actually slightly rear biased, though it's not much of an issue. We have the scroll wheel tension adjustment, large mouse feet for consistent gliding. One issue, potential issue, if you're an unsteady hand kind of person, you might actually find because of this slope here, it's a little bit easy to pivot the mouse clockwise. So there's my look at the shape of the Razer Basilisk. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments and I'll try to get around to answering as many as I can.